Alright, we're starting off on a new driving game. Not a lot has been decided yet. Let's just prototype some ideas and see what's fun. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. I'm recording as I implement these ideas, so sorry if things feel a little disjointed. If you have any ideas, stick them in the comments and you might see them in the next video.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I already set up the basics: a drivable car, a road, and some NPC cars that follow it. Right now it's pretty boring. So let's start by bumping up the traffic. Increasing the traffic definitely makes things more engaging. You have to look ahead and plan out your path through the crowd, but let's add a wrinkle to it with some cars that swerve. Through the power of video editing, we jump forward to swerving cars being implemented. They follow the road, but also swerve along a sine wave. That does actually add a lot. They force the player to change their path on the fly. I also kind of like their predictable movement. It feels more fair that you know what they're going to do. Let's quickly add some lanes to the main road to make it easier to see distances. Now I'm thinking we should try to add some cross traffic. I think that will make things a bit more hectic. Alright, I implemented the cross streets. I added a hitbox along the cross traffic that respawns the cars at the beginning of the road when they reach the end. The cars are clipping through each other and it's very unrealistic, but I like how it looks. The environment's still very sterile, but it makes things feel more alive. It's hard to describe, but having to pay attention to the cross traffic and not just your forward path does feel really good. What I'm starting to see is that the driving feels better when you have to make choices in the moment. Making a split-second choice is fun. Saying that out loud, it's obvious. We have the player avoiding crashes, but there isn't any motivation to make them get closer to the other cars. So thinking of some things we could do a point system. On its own, it seems kind of boring. We could give the player a time limit, and sideswiping other cars give them more time. Or we could give them a gas tank and they refill their gas when they sideswipe other vehicles. An idea I'm leaning towards is unlocking a weapon or upgrade by completing enough swipes. Kinda similar to Pac-Man. You're chased by a bunch of enemy ghosts, but when you pick up a power pellet, you can turn around and eat them. What if we had something like that, like a mob of police cars or giant semi-trucks? You sideswipe enough cars, you get the ability to turn around to destroy the ones that are chasing you. I threw out a bunch of ideas, so let's just start with implementing the timer first. We've jumped forward a bit in development time. The timer is set up. You can see it in the upper left corner. Just for testing, I set it to 20 seconds. Swiping a car resets the timer to 20 seconds. I also added a rear view mirror and the cars change color. They turn red if you hit them and green if you sideswipe them. Let's fast forward to see what happens when the timer reaches 0. Kinda lame. Let's make the car do something a bit more interesting. That's good, but we can do better. I made this really fancy model in Blender. Let's add him into our game. Oh, sorry. That's that other guy's joke. He can be our driver when the car explodes. I like this. We'll refine it more later, but this definitely stays. Next item to add is the chasing enemy. This pulsating orb will be a good placeholder. The AI is really dumb for now. If they can see you, they'll move towards you. They touch you, you die. You die in the game, you die in real life. I may have made them a bit slow, but moving past a slow group seems like a good enemy type. Kind of like the idea of there being a horde of enemies that are slow moving and predictable. It's more about managing them and getting them to pool together than it is outright avoiding them. I also added that humming noise to the enemies, so the player can know when one is close by. I'm not crazy about the placeholder sound, so we'll probably replace it later, but I like giving that extra indication you are in danger. Let's add the ability to kill enemies. I made this weapon object. When the player rolls over it, they get a big shield. Let's make the weapon a bit more interesting. The enemies can't hurt you when it's on, so that's kind of boring. Let's replace the circle shield with 2 swords. That feels a lot better. You have to steer to sideswipe the enemies, because if you aren't careful, they can still kill you. Alright, let's bring it all together by making the weapon lock behind swiping NPC cars. For Devlog 1, I think we did pretty good. There's still a lot of stuff to do, but we're starting to get an idea of what the core mechanics will be. Going into the next devlog, I want to make things feel a bit more hectic. The NPC traffic feels very one-dimensional. To improve it, I think we'll add some variety with some basic traffic rules. I think we'll get some interesting emergent behavior. The truck also feels slightly off. I want it to be a bit more nimble. Let's experiment with a boost and drifting next video to see if that helps. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. If you want to see a tutorial on how I created the car, you can check out this video here. And I also put out a free game on Steam. It's called Ball Space. You can check out my retrospective on it here. A link to the game is in the description of this video. Thanks. Bye.